Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a YouTube video. This is part of my video series called Scripture Journaling, and my name is Rhonda Gibson. I am the owner of Cards for Christ, and I'm also an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And you'll hear me refer to myself as a Gibson girl. That's the name of my team name. So anyway, I'm coming to you a little bit late today because this morning I had a doctor's appointment, and as you can tell, maybe, I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but my pinky definitely is broken. And so I took time out to do my video this afternoon, and I'll have to put the stent back on it. And then they also gave me a couple of hand braces for both my hands because I have something else going on with my thumbs that's totally unrelated to my pinky. But anyway, so I wanted to share with you today a scripture from John 11, verse 14, or I'm sorry, verse 41. So it's John 11, verse 41. And Jesus has come in John 11 to see Mary and Martha, and he's heard that their brother Lazarus has died. And so he was very, distraught and unhappy. And so they took him to the tomb. And when they got there, Jesus said if they believed that he could be raised from the dead, pretty much is what they said. And he said, and they were a little awestruck. But anyway, verse 41 says, Then they took away the stone from the place where the dead was laid. And Jesus lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me. And since this, I've been talking the last few videos about thankfulness, and so I thought this was appropriate to show you that even Jesus took time out to thank the Father for answering his prayers when he prayed. So anyway, I went ahead, and I usually print these out, the verses, but I decided to go ahead and start journaling my verses, so writing them. So that's why I read it to you instead of let you read it for yourself, because you may not be able to read my writing, or you may just want to hear it rather than try to decipher what I've written here. Now, on this paper, you'll see that I highlighted, and Jesus lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me. That was the important part of this scripture to me. And so that's what I want to journal about. So when I go to the Lord in prayer, I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to start working on this. But when I go to the Lord in prayer, oftentimes I have wondered in the past, did the Lord even hear me? Was I making any sense whatsoever, And so I kind of wanted to know that, write it down. And if Jesus believed that God heard him, then I know that God hears me too. If you hear meowing in the background, like one of my cats is in the house, his name is Runty, and he's not a runt anymore, but he is demanding. So anyway, what we're going to use today is we're going to use the Stampin' Up stamp set called Peaceful Place. And I wanted to use it because to me, going into prayer is a time where I get peace, and I can actually sit with the Lord, and I can download all of my troubles and cares and give them to him, and he takes care of them. And that's what helps me to be the happy person that I am. So we're going to use the big stamp today. We're going to use the little squirrel. We're going to use this thinking of you with gratitude for your part in my journey, because God is a big part of my journey, and so I really am thankful to him for that. And then we're going to use the leaf also. So pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a lot of stamping today, and I'm using the Memento ink. You'll have to excuse me, I still have the creddies from that cold that I've had. I guess it's a cold or a virus or whatever. The doctor told me today that a lot of people have had that here in this area, and that the cough oftentimes will last up to six weeks to 2 months. So I think that's inked up pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and test it on my grid paper just to see how good it is. Now I'd like it a little bit darker. I want to be able to see it. So I'm going to ink it some more. Hopefully I'll get it nice and dark. so that I can use it. I'm kind of pressing this pad into it because it may be that this ink pad just might be a little bit drier than what I like to use. But anyway, I think I've got it covered pretty well. I'm going to go ahead and stamp it where I want it. I'm putting this up above right here in this corner. And if you're wondering, I took my paper off. I didn't take it off. I actually cut a separate piece of Whisper White paper that I'm going to put into my journal here in just a few minutes, because I discovered that if I do this in my journal to start with, then if I've got something else, another page on the other side, oftentimes I will accidentally mess up because it's got maybe some dimensionals or something on there. I don't know, you might not be able to see that very well, but it turned out very pretty, I think. I'm going to try to keep it from hitting the glare. Can you see that? It's a beautiful scene. It's trees and a brook that goes in between it. It is just really a gorgeous stamp. I'm going to grab my Simply Chamois to clean that off. I actually got a new Simply Chamois the other day because I have classes and I've lost several of my Simply Chamois. I don't know what's happened to them, but I went ahead and got a new one. Excuse me. And I'm just stamping that off. Let's see if I got it clean. And it's clean. So yay, I'm going to go ahead and put it away before I forget. Because with these cling mount stamps, sometimes they tend to stick, and you don't want it to stick to your block forever. And this is a bigger stamp, so I'm really trying to make sure that doesn't. I'm going to put some washi tape in there to kind of help hold those down. Okay, so that's that. So now that you've seen it, I'm going to flip it around. Now I want to put my sentiment, which I don't know why, but I put away my ink pad. I'm going to try this other one, see if it's any better. I'm going to put my sentiment on this side of the page. And I probably wouldn't really need a sentiment, except that I wanted it on there because it has a little bit more of my thought process on it. Oh yeah, this is a much inkier. And I like this sentiment because it makes me realize that not only do I think about the Lord, but He's also thinking of me too. And sometimes we forget that in our lives. Let's see, do I want to go low? I think I'm going to put it up a little higher. Put it right here. There we go. Very nice. Clean it off. Clean it a little bit more just in case. I actually stamped black ink on black ink. Oh, it came out okay. So good. That one's done. And because if I don't, this little desk really gets covered up fast. Now I'm going to do the little squirrel, and I love this little squirrel. I think he's just cute. So he gets stuck on here too. And I'm trying to decide if I want to put him here in this corner, or I think I'm going to put him right here in this corner. Guys, the beauty of journaling and doing scripture journaling is it's yours to keep. You're not giving it away. You can do whatever you want to with it. This is just what I decided to do. And I love this stamp set. I just think it's beautiful. And so, of course, I'm going to use it as much as I possibly can. I'm hoping that it carries over next year. It's in our next annual catalog. I need to move some of this around a little bit. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. So it's a beautiful stamp set. And then I have one more stamp that I'm going to do, and it's the leaf. And I'm just stamping it. Oh, very pretty. Okay. You know, I may not use this leaf. I don't know. I thought I would. Maybe I'll just put it right here anyway. Because when you think of Thanksgiving time, you think of leaves, or at least I do. Okay, so I'll put that away, put this away, and normally I'd start coloring this. I don't know. I may color just a little bit. I'm not going to do a whole lot because I don't want to keep you very long. So I may just do a little bit. I wanted to use my color pencils, and I believe I left them over on the work table, so I'm going to go grab those. Please excuse the coughing today. I just can't seem to stop. So these are our Stampin' Up colored pencils, and I like them because you can do them with watercolor also. So I'm just going to put away all these stamp blocks for the moment. If you're wondering, I highlighted this with the Pineapple Punch Stampin' Right marker, and it's a water-based color also. And this is, I just got my new one, so I'm pretty excited about that. And let's see, I'm going to use, I think I'm going to do my leaf real quick. I like that I have Granny Apple Green, this is Garden Green, and this is Old Olive. These are some of my green choices that I get to use. And because it's a little bit more fallish, I may put a little bit of green on there because it's green. I'm not going to do it really dark because I am going to come in with a little bit of the fall colors as well. And I'm going to make my branch. Let's see what this one is. This is crushed curry. I don't want to use crushed curry. Like I said, these are fairly new. I'm going to come in with a little bit of the Cajun, I think, and just give it just a little bit of fall look. And guys, you could do this however you wanted to. For me, I just kind of want to gussy it up just a little bit. I'm not going to make you sit through the coloring of the scenery. I will show it to you next week if you'd like to see it. I'll be happy to show it to you. Let's see. This should be Early Espresso. I'm going to use, yes. And I'm going to do my little squirrel in Early Espresso. The nice thing about this is it's the really detailed stamps. So I just kind of lightly going over everything. And because it's got some places for me to highlight, I think I'm going to take some of that crushed curry and I'm going to make my squirrel just a little bit red. Crushed curry is kind of a reddish brown color, and I kind of want to highlight, do a little bit of that. Just give him a little bit of dimension. If you see any of these products that I'm using today, you're welcome to get them through my Stampin' Up store, which is Gibson Girl Stamper Gibson Girl Stamper at stampinup.net. Feel free to shop with me if you don't have a demonstrator. If you do have a demonstrator, please go ahead and stamp through them, buy through them. Given my little, it looked like he's holding an acorn. So just kind of do that. Anyway, guys, I love the Lord with all my heart, and I'm hoping that doing these scripture journaling that you will be inspired to do a little bit of scripture journaling yourself as you watch me. You see how easy it is just to do whatever it is that you want to do as far as journaling goes. You know, you could get even more elaborate with this. You could really have, oh, that's crushed curry. You could really have a lot of fun and just do a whole lot more than what I'm doing. But to me, simpler is better. I like to use the KISS, Keep It Simple Stamping. I really like that. Matter of fact, I have a online club that I call Keep It Simple Stamping. And it's just a product class. And basically you buy the product and then I send you 3 card kits with 2 cards each. So you could make, you could duplicate and have 2 of each card. I kind of in the yellow theme today, so I just kind of did that. But this is what it's starting to look like. And like I said, I'm trying to see. It says my frame is dropped, so I can't really see what you guys are seeing, but I know it's recording, so it'll be okay. I'm going to go ahead and put this in my book. This is last time's book that I did, and see, as you can see, I've got an extra piece of paper in here, so it's going to make it pop up just a little bit. So I wanted to definitely do this here. I put this on here like I'm planning on. I just want to look and see. I shouldn't have any problems coloring the rest of this. So this is where it's going to go to live. Looks just like this. I may get kind of industrious and color more ground here and different things just so that it's fun. Like so. Like I said, this is your art. You do it the way you want to. I'm just giving it just a little bit of this. And I think I want to go in with a light blue. And the reason I'm doing this is because I just want it to look pretty. So I'm going to go in with light blue. This is actually Bermuda Bay. And I know people are going, oh my gosh, Rhonda, you could mask off that and it wouldn't color over it. It's not really coloring over it. And so I'm okay with the way it looks. And again, this is more for me to put in my book to help me memorize scripture. And I'm hoping it'll help you also. So if you have any questions for me, you're welcome to write to me, gibsongirlstamper@gmail.com. I'll have my email in there. I'll have my store address in there if you want to order any of this stuff. I'm going to go right ahead and just keep going. And I think I'm going to stop about right here. So I'm going really lightly. I still want my scripture, and Jesus lifted his eyes up and said, Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me. By the way, that is King James Version, because I really want that to stand out. When I turn this page, I want that to be what pops out at me, not necessarily the little artwork that I'm doing, but that. So anyway, guys, I guess I have taken enough of your time today. I want to thank you for coming. I want to thank you for being a part of my scripture journaling series. And like I said, if you have any questions, comments, I'm not sure if YouTube's going to let there be comments because of their new policy about children. So you are welcome to email me, gibsongirlstamper@gmail.com, and ask me any questions that you like. Um, so you guys have a great day. This Gibson girl saying bye-bye for now, and I'll show you this page next week. Bye-bye.